Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where I think Ben and Trillo are about to take the stand. This should be just fascinating. Please state your name and occupation for the record. Oh, it's Trillo's gonna talk.
My name is Trillo Quest. I'm employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me. The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman Ventriloquist. That rope must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with the song. Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence. Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think?
It had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Hey, Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge.
Shut up, just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star.
So a lot of reasons really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What's going on here? Order, order, I demand to know who the witness is.
Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this.
I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about my... Ouch!
You don't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's proceed. Wait, what? That shouldn't... Why is that allowed? I mean, I guess she's allowed to whip the judge, so... What you witness?
Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. Clown.
Mo.
Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance.
Why?
That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away.
You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene. You're sure of that?
Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy get-up and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, dress boy. Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime?
He's got a point. What a shame. It is a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit.
And why is that?
Here's absolute proof.
Silk hat?
This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Wait, that's all you got? Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Unless it were set up.
Well done, Ms. Von Karma. What?
How are you falling for this?
Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done.
Oh. Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Alright. Here we go. Start by pressing everything. Hello? The clown. You're talking about Mo.
Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way keeling over for good.
Poor guy.
We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the... Oh,
read that already. Why the plaza's entrance?
To do some thinking, of course.
It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was. Please don't make that argument. Alright, are you sure it was Max? Yeah, are you sure it was really Max Galactica?
Of course I'm sure. How do you make someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup?
Snobby three-piece getup?
Get the wax out of your eyes. Lawyers nowadays, you're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece get-up. Geez, could you be any more dense altogether now? Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you.
Nick, I think you should put up a little bit more effort in preparing your questions. Oh, that was the jury yelling at me. Oops. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo?
That's right. And that makes him the killer. Wait. There was only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character.
There's more to this story than meets the eye. Yeah. Is there something amiss in this? Ben only saw Max. Right. Because wouldn't he have seen, shoot, what's his name? The ringleader. Wouldn't he have seen him at some point too? That's a bit strange, don't you think?
What's strange?
That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well?
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness could have seen?
The monkey. It was the monkey. No, am I right about this? Because, yeah, Russell had never walked that way. How could he have been murdered? Or am I overthinking this? Or am I overthinking that I'm overthinking? It feels a little too obvious.
That's the victim.
That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well, right? Obviously the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that out. But no. What are you talking about? Yeah, the ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. The ringmaster left first. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he just, as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony.
Wait.
And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions.
He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now, let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he?
Yeah?
Well, Max is part of that bitter love triangle with Regina. Which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Wait. We pressed that already. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. We pressed that already. So I saw Max, who was heading towards the scene of the crime. Yep. He was the only one headed that way. How could that punk not have been the killer? We pressed that. Oh, then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene?
I suppose it would have been around... Hey, what time was it?
I think it was around, I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10, so you hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is...
Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we'd just stand outside in that weather?
Well, maybe you were waiting. Maybe you were waiting for someone.
What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
He was waiting for someone. Mr. Phoenix Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories. But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something.
Mr. Wright? Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night?
Would that have been... That would have had to have been Regina. Waiting for Von Karma. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina.
What?
You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken?
Is this true?
Well, you can't really ask me that question.
Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right.
Nah. Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought.
Ah. That makes perfect sense.
What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there's a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the scene. Ow! There's absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer.
I guess you got me. Alright, I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina.
Payne, don't volunteer things.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit.
More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Oops. You're the one who called a ventriloquist to the stand. And the puppet, for some reason. Okay. About the proposal.
Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket.
No, you don't.
You are going to propose, you, a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm an old person doesn't mean I can propose to her, too. Exactly.
Honor is looking a little less than honorable right now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination.
What was with that sigh at the end? Okay, well, I have a lot here, but by proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina.
Of course, that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together.
You know, that would I'd play that game.
Right, Ben?
Yeah.
Got it, that's the truth. I even had something to give to her.
What was it exactly that you planned on giving her?
You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty.
Answer his question, what was it?
You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring.
Engagement ring?
Engagement ring?
Those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone on too far. Time for this to end right here. Francisca's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. Running from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Pain equals bad. Push on anyway. Yeah, we'll push on anyway. Who cares? We're not the ones getting whipped, right? Maybe something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time— oh, I was laughing and I kind of missed what he said. I advise you to cut this argument short.
I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in black bathrobe. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina.
An engagement ring?
It's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is going to love it.
It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's gotta be something I can catch him on. I want to keep going. Whose pocket was the ring in?
Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off?
Yeah, I'm sorry, really.
You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing.
Really?
Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night.
So you went to the lodging house to give it to her?
That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way.
Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his wood block in half and not with Max. Ooh, well, they say that love creates rivalries.
So what about this present?
Wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket.
It's a lie.
So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina?
Of course I am. I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give up that easily.
I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck. The judge has a dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more. Alright. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. Okay. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina. Okay. I think I need to present the ring. It's just where. I don't think it's here. Then I'm giving the engagement ring to Regina. But we have it. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. That's a lie. Because I have it. Trillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it?
What are you talking about?
Uh-oh, looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring?
Ah, that's mine. Give it back. Thief, thief.
Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here?
Ah! Oh, what is going on here? That's... Ben, say something.
Hey, don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo. I found this in Money's room.
Money's room? You mean the room they put money in, like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would have preferred if you avoid slandering innocent fiats in my court.
Your Honor, Money really is a monkey. In every sense of the word.
Ah, I see. Well then.
Money likes to go after the shiniest thing that he can find and gather them up.
Shiny things?
Trillo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know. That night, the night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ah, yeah. Okay. So,
Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder.
it's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand.
I haven't admitted anything. Not I, Mr. Trilloquist.
What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo?
You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey money.
But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you?
It's all this slow loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame.
Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? Ben doesn't exercise enough. That one. Ben's testimony has a flaw. There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction. The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You'd think she'd drop that whole act, but I have a feeling that's going to continue the whole game. Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. Which does seem important. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene.
Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Well then tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max.
Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant.
Wait, is he on our side for once? I don't know what to make of this.
What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. No doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I've told you so many times, you'd think you'd know my story's not changing.
You've already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where there's one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Witnessing Max. Okay.
I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it's him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max?
That's right, Money ran out less than a minute after I saw Max.
The Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him.
How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see, I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Also, literally anyone in the world could have showed up in that 5 minutes. I don't think that part is as important. I think we need to prove that that wasn't necessarily, I don't think, I don't know. I lost my thought. Sorry. Oh my god. I'll give you that I was waiting. Alright, let's press. I don't think that 5-minute window is as important. I don't think this testimony is like the most important thing, I guess, is where I'm going with that. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up.
You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know, 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose.
Yeah, because the judge is even more dangerous to her case than Trillo.
That doesn't change the fact I saw Max. Okay.
So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night.
Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time.
I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. Showed up after I'd been waiting there for 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed, what time was it?
What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yow! No, get... It was 10:10 p.m.
Ah, yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene.
Said good evening, but he didn't acknowledge. That makes sense because they aren't really friends. I guess Max wouldn't say anything. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night.
You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess, that's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trillo.
Mr. Quist, I'd prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better.
There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Alright. Nothing especially. Trillo's evening greeting. Or Ben's half of the comedy act. I think I can knock that one out. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're getting at here. Like, is it the fact that he said good night and not good evening? Like I just don't get what what we're implying here. Alright, I'm just gonna try it. Isn't that a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Ow, that hurt. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. So there's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Nothing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot.
Witness will resume his testimony.
Alright, press that. You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said.
I told you already, geez, I am 100% absolutely sure.
There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? Okay, let's press that. There's 3 ridiculous symbols, huh?
Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now.
We're being mocked.
Thank you very much.
Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have proof that makes something stick? All you can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. We'll just have to do that work in the next episode. Ooh. Like, even if it is even if it is Ben / Trillo, trying to prove it is proving to be a little difficult. Like, it seems like the obvious angle, but the evidence I feel like isn't quite there yet. We're definitely missing some pieces, so we'll just have to see how it goes in the next episode. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.